Geneva Lake in south central Wisconsin. We're a little east, southeastern Wisconsin. And I am going to do a review of Bigfoot Beach State Park. Right here, as you see it here, the area that's sort of marked off, this is the official swim area, part of the beach. That's going to continue out a little bit unmarked. And we are also on part of the lake shore path that will take you all the way around this lake, all 27 miles of shoreline, and it can be done in a day. One of these days I'll get around to giving you that tour. I just haven't done it yet. So let's take a look around, see what kind of amenities are in this park. It's all over here, but this beach is only accessed by being in the park. There's plenty of beach here. You can pull up your boat too, if you're just coming from the rest of the lake, but you cannot park along the road here. You can only get here by getting into the state park and paying your fee there. I am also under threat of a thunderstorm, so we'll see where I get to before I have to duck in and out. But let's go explore. This is one of the few, especially for day use, this is one of only 4 public available beaches on this beautiful lake. This lake is kind of internally contained. It's just within a glacier bowl. It is pretty self-contained. All the water that feeds it is either spring-fed or from runoff that comes down the hills around it. And for the most part, once you get to the top of the hill and you're in farmland, the water runs away. So the farm runoff hasn't really been much of an issue with this lake. The people trying to keep their lawns pristine can be an issue for the lake, but it is still a very clear lake, even though it is incredibly well used. While I'm standing here, remember, here's our selfie location. Hi. Because remember, Wisconsin looks better with you. Hashtag scenic Wisconsin. So, as I was saying, 4 public use beaches on this lake. 1 in Fontana, 1 in Williams Bay, 1 in Lake Geneva, and 1 here at the beach. The other ones, you do have to pay a fee to the local community to use them. This one is one of the most popular ones, but it is one of the smallest ones. You're almost head on the road, feet in the water. It's a little crowded. Now we also have this little body of water within the park, just across from the lake, and I've never had the opportunity to walk around it, so that's my first exploration of this park, if the rains allow. This area, this is a very popular tourist destination. Plenty of hotel rooms, plenty of resorts, but no campgrounds. There are no campgrounds close to Lake Geneva. You have to travel quite a bit. There are a lot of camps, like youth camps, church camps, things like that, that have held on to their property along the lake, but no campground. So if you want to bring your RV and camp or tent camp, you have to do it here at the state park. At the end of the video, I'll give you a full tour of that campground. Down here along the waterfront, you got the beautiful little pond here. Then this beautiful day use area all along the riverfront. On a hot day, there's usually going to be a decent breeze here. On a sunnier day, especially on the weekend, the boats from the other end of the lake all come down here and dock, or not dock, anchor themselves and just have a big party out here. So it's a very popular spot to do that. There's one of the few spots on the lake you can do that without being in someone's front yard. It's also a shallow spot on the lake. So let's go across the bridge. Check this out. Huh. I may be able to rent some boats for the pond here. The lake trail around this lake is public. Can't use any of Eddie's pier or anything like that, stay on the trail. But eminent domain has allowed it to be, to make it so anybody can walk around this lake on the trails, on the trail, the lake path, and walk in front of anybody's mansion that you want to. Just, you know, don't hang out, don't be creepy about it, but it is available to hike all the way around. So if you are unaware, the name Bigfoot State Park comes from the name Chief Bigfoot. He was the last Native American Indian chief in this area before settlers moved in. Once they moved in, they basically, it was already after the time when they were relocating Native Americans. This is one of the last areas that was really discovered by white man, or that the tribe was discovered, mainly because it's not on a water route anywhere. Most trading, most movement of white men around Wisconsin was all based up and down rivers. This lake, as beautiful it is not connected to any other river to come in and out. So it kept it fairly isolated. Chief Bigfoot was promised that his tribe would be given land out west on the lake. He was sent to a river, didn't like it, he just kept moving, and the tribe just kind of fell apart. Every time they moved, a few more moved back to Wisconsin. So it wasn't a very clear-cut end of that tribe, but they were Potawatomi, so yes, a lot of them came back to Wisconsin over time. On the Wisconsin end of the lake, there's a wonderful statue of Chief Bigfoot called Last Look. Basically, it's a statue of Chief Bigfoot standing on the western edge of the lake, getting his last look at the lake before he turned around and headed west. Great farmland up on the hills, up on the prairies up above. But down here, terrible farming land. Eventually, railroads came into Fontana and Lake Geneva, and this became a playground for the rich. It became known as the Newport of the West. Newport as in Newport, Rhode Island, which was where all of the East Coast rich families, Vanderbilts, those kind of folks set up shop in the summer. They had their mansions there. Well, the mansions here were set up. You had folks like the Wrigleys, Schwinn had mansions here, plenty of other names that unfortunately I don't have my book anymore that would tell me who the original estates were, but they set up their estates here, and they didn't have really roads to their mansions or cabins on the lake. So they would have their people come pick them up at the train station and shuttle them into the property by boat. And they have little races because everybody showed up at the same time, and they would have races racing their nice little yachts around the lake to get home. I'm kind of stammering here because I'm in the middle of an intersection. I'm not sure which way to go because I haven't gotten a map yet. I came from that way. I think I got to get over there to get back to my car, just to be safe so I don't get caught in the rain. Anyway, this lake became very popular with the very well-to-do from Chicago as a place to retreat to, the Midwestern rich, let's put it that way. You didn't have those big names you had out east. They were the big Midwest names. Now at this point, all of those original estates have been carved up. Some of the homes still exist in some fashion, but most of them have been carved up into smaller little parcels and subdivisions. So you can walk the lake. You may still see some of the big ones, but there are some new homes that rivaled them. The big surprise was Stone Manor, which was one of the biggest on the lake. It was built as a wedding gift kind of place. And then over years, it was just too big for any family, and it got carved up into condos. And recently, it was acquired by somebody who retook over the whole thing, and it was little bit by little bit, turning it all back into one big mansion that is quite impressive. So I got back to the gatehouse here, finally got a map, and I looked at the map and it shows me at the end of the pond down there, or lagoon I think they call it, there was a place that looked like it might rent little paddle boats or something. That is actually on private property, so it's actually outside the park area. I am going to attempt to get you this tour driving tour of the campgrounds and the rest of the park before rain comes. We're passing through the first parking area you come to when you enter the park. This is the closest one to the beach. Pet area to our right, more parking to our left, along with the dump station, so don't park where they need to dump. Trails kind of continue around up here. I believe we are going to see a whole bunch more parking for day use and beach area. I have a marshy area to my right. Marshes, yes, that's what it says. So another series of parking along more day use and trails to my left that will take you back down to the beach, so you can do both. Nice new pit toilets. That's probably what we'll be seeing down closer to the water soon. So there are two, and they even list them, very distinct campgrounds here. One is listed as tenting, one is listed as RV. That's kind of unusual for a state park to distinguish them that way. I got sites 1 through 23 and 26, 27, 31 through 36, A, B, and C. 31 is straight ahead there. So that is park here over on my right and walk in with your tents. So these first three sites here, 32. I don't even see the numbers for some of these. So these are definitely tent sites. No, I mean, this isn't even for me here. Other than parking, I park, so 3 is on my right, 33 on my left, 4 is on my right. Use the parking area and walk your stuff in. So they're kind of spurred off of here. Right ahead of me is site 6, I believe. Yeah, you just see little parking areas and walk off to your campsite. So I'm going to take a moment and show you what these are like. So I'll get out of the vehicle and walk you around a little bit. So I am here midweek on a Wednesday. If I was here on a weekend, I assume all this would be full and with threatening weather, so nobody's around today. A little overcast today, and you saw nobody's at the lake right now. I'm in the middle of the summer, but it's not a weekend. This campground is very different than any other state park campground I've been in so far, and I've been in a lot of them. Usually it's the electric spots and the non-electric spots. And some of them were smaller, some you could barely fit a tent in, most you could fit a pop-up in. All of these, you park here. Here's a group parking area. Down here is site 8 through 14. I got site 34, another one over there, and down there is 11, 13, and 15. So let's go look around. All right, future me jumping in here. I have now visited several Illinois state parks that felt very similar to Bigfoot Beach State Park. So people coming up from Illinois and enjoying their state parks may feel very similar, where there is a section for tents and a section for RVs. So people like me who are in a tent camper or in a camper van who just want to park in a site and don't need all the amenities of the electrics and things that most RVers would want, feel a little left out. And that's what this campground feels like to me. Site 8 over here. This is definitely a different kind of experience of camping in Wisconsin state parks. Site 10 over here. Nine straight ahead. So I'm still on the trail. 9's a little exposed, but they all are. Now some of these are getting a little deeper into the woods. Got 13 straight ahead. All very basic. You've got a place for your fire, a picnic table, plenty of grass to set your tent on. 14 on my right, tucked back in there, nicely tucked away. This one not so tucked away. Let's see what number this is. 11. You can also enter from over there. Let's see what the Attention Campers is. Make sure you have a reservation before you set up. Go to whipparks.net and click the reserve a campsite. Huh, that's a different site. I've always used going to camp. Wisconsin going to camp. So that's a different network. I'll have to check that out. There's 15. Now I'm going to show you here. This one kind of connects over to its neighbor. A little side trail. You have your own space, but families could have connectivity, and it connects up to that one too. So somebody was here for a while. I'll have to mark 12. Now let's go around and see what the other one was. There's the pit toilets. Okay, up here I have 16, which interconnects with the others, and then 17 over there, which I think might be occupied. All right, let's see what's hiding behind my vehicle here. We got a site here, 36 on my right. Interesting. This section in the 30s is more dirt than grass. 35 here. Oh, hit a dead end. I think this one doesn't dead end. 36. That's kind of odd. I think you had to go through 36 to get to others. There's another trail. They're all just kind of scattered about the woods and interconnected and tagged. Let's see what this one was. 28, a little more grassy. Another parking area ahead here, 29. And 30 over here. I bet there's something else. Maybe not. Now just outside all those tent sites over here, we have our camp host. There's firewood sales and ice available very close to all of these tent sites. All right, now that I'm walking it, there's 31. Site 1 over here is kind of on the main road. I would avoid that if possible, but it is closest to the camp host. 2 over here. Interesting, there's no sign of life, but it is reserved. Yeah, someone's got it reserved and the cornhole is left behind to mark their site. 32 on the other side of the road. Pathway kind of passing between them all. 33 on my left here. Kind of exposed. I can see my van from here. 3 over here is very exposed, but certainly easy to unload. So getting your stuff out into that site is really easy. This is all parking through here. 4 over here. So a spot like this, I could use and car camp it right here. It's fairly level, so that would work for me, but it'd be a waste of a site. And one more over here. Let's look at 6. And 5 is tucked around the corner here. In that hole. And I think we got another one back here. That's 7. And this one comes with a woodchuck. He just ran away. Ooh, that's a big site. Hold a lot of people here. And a woodchuck. This is site 6. Got some beautiful trees in it. Not hammock trees, but some beautiful trees. Mulberries in here somewhere, right there. So I believe that was almost all of this loop. Let's see if there's any more sites hiding up a little beyond this silver vehicle. A couple. They'll be similar to what we just experienced. As you can see, it's starting to sprinkle on me. 27 on my left is right off this road, but you got the parking on the right. I got a tent hiding over there. So we got a bunch more over there, including the ABC. I wonder, those might be deeper tent sites. 26 is right on the road. And that ends this section. Oh, we're already into the RV section. We'll see these on the way back out. Let me back up here. Since nobody's around, I can do this. Okay, just up from the camp host, I've got a couple of RV sites here. 24 is straight ahead. I'm not sure what the one on my further left is. We'll find that out on the way back through. I'm going to back up and go around the rest of the RV section of the campground. And you're going to have to suffer through some drops on the windshield now. 37 is on my right, tucked away. Back in. These are all back in, so these are going to be a little hard to see. 38 on my right. I think that's an 8. Fairly large. 39 on my right. 40 straight ahead there. So these have got plenty of room. Some of them. 40 not as deep. It's got a nice big tree in it though. 41 on my right. 42 is straight ahead there. You can see most of it, the pad. 43 is pretty small. That's like just enough for a car or a pop-up and nothing more. Or a small class B or C. 44 on my right. 45 on my right. That's got a travel trailer hiding behind that pickup. 46 on my left, not very big pad, that's a small pad. 47 on my right. Goes back a bit, but you got trees right up against you, so you gotta watch out for slides. 48 on my right is not quite level, it slopes uphill, and somebody's just got a tent back there. Got a class B on my right at 49, and that seems about right for that. 50 on my left with a pop-up, seems about right. 51 on my right, yeah, older travel trailer. 52 on my left, again very small. 53, that class A just fits in there, and they obviously had to disconnect. 54, small. They call this an RV section, campground, but they are small sites. 55, 56 on my left, 55 on my right. That one is pretty darn deep. The pad itself is small, but you could cheat. 58 on my left, 57 on my right. The ones on my left are on the inside of the circle and backing up to the neighbors on the other side. 59 and 61 has got the Airstream ahead. 60 on my left, it's got a small travel trailer. Seems about right there. 63 on my right. Get you a swipe. Yeah, it's medium size. 62 on my left, again fairly small. I don't want you to get here and think you can fit something big in here. 65 on my right, it's got a Class A along with that Honda that they towed in. 64 on my left, it's not very big. The pad is about just enough for a Class C, small Class C. 66 on my right's got a smaller travel trailer. 67 on my left, that's got a little bit of space to it, but where's the hookup? It's not electric. Oh, interesting. 68 on my right has this very small travel trailer. 70 on my right, you run into trees very quickly there, so you don't have a lot, you can't fake the depth there. 69 on my left, again you're gonna hit a tree if you go back too far, but no electric there. 61 on my 71 on my right, again no electric. I'm a little curious, I feel like I got a house to my right down this road. Now we're actually backed up to a neighborhood. So we're out here, there's another road that goes by and you're backing up to a neighborhood. 72 on my left, no electric. But these kind of sites, at least I can stay in without needing power, but I'm actually in my site, not having to walk into a non-existent site. 72 on my right has got a nice big Class A. 74 on my right, except 73 didn't have power. 74 does not have power. And it's fairly large. 75 on my left, again no electric, mid-size. I've got pit toilets on my right. 76 on my left, and that's got a little bit of room, but again no power. 77 on my right, it's got a travel trailer and they have power again. 78 on my left, mid-size, no power. 79 has got a tiny little pop-up crosswise in their site, and that is electric. 81 is electric. That one has a paved pad. 80 on my left is electric with just a tent right now, but you know, these are not big sites. You can see how crammed they are here at 82. They even have a boat on the other side they're trying to sell. That's a lot into a site. 83 on my right has no power. I got someone Jeep camping there. 85 on my right has power, but very short pad before you hit the picnic table. 84 on my left, again a little bigger, no power, but you won't hit a tree. 86 on my left, that you're going to see about all of the pad there to the picnic table. 87 on my right, again very short sights. 88 on my right, no electric, just got a tent in there and a strange fire. 89 on my left is fairly deep but no power. 90 on my right, no power, again very short. 91 on my left, a little deeper, no power. These are actually very close together. We have the pine trees between them and 92, but we have got, and I'm going to swing over here to show you this, a beautiful new shower building. Apparently I was holding up traffic, so it was good to pull over. Yeah, that's a beautiful shower building, and I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can zoom in on that since I'm parked right under the light. Is a paper wasp nest. Interesting. Okay, continuing on. So 94 being across from the shower house is paved and is the accessible site. I got a little cross section here. I might have to go back around to see. 89 on my right is electric, mid-size. 9090, it's got a little hump up in, and definitely not level, not electric. 100 on my right is not electric. Fairly large grassy area, but a very small parking pad. Oh, I'm back at this point. Okay, let me come back around here. 37 is straight ahead there. Again, these are not big sites. These are built a long time ago, not for current massive RVs. Doing this little crossroad here. That also runs to the shower house with 97 on my left, 96 on my right, which is both right across from the shower house. And we're almost through all of them. The numbering system I don't quite get completely, but hey. So that's the end of the world out here. The world does not go beyond what we just explored. I think it actually backs up to the high school to some extent. Okay, then I had those first couple of RV sites that are across from the tent section at 24, which is electric. And let's swing this, maybe you can see 25 over here with a fair-sized travel trailer and a whole lot of room. So that 25, huge site, huge site. Wow, that's a big one. Compared to everything else, it was massive. And that's it. That is all the campsites at Bigfoot Beach State Park, and I've shown you about half the trails. So it's not a huge park, but it's a very important park in the area that allows people with RVs or want to stay in a tent or very simply in this area a place to stay. So you're not paying a couple $100 a night for a hotel room in a very fancy area. Just outside the edge of the park, along the water, there are two places you can eat within walking distance. Otherwise, you're going to have to roll down into Lake Geneva. And I think I'll end this video. Well, I did end my video. That was a little abrupt. I was having a lot of troubles with my GoPro that day that I was filming everything on, and I had to do a lot of audio shifting. For some reason, my audio and my video were not syncing up that day. It took a lot of work to put that video together. But thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of that video of Bigfoot Beach State Park. I'm putting this out basically at the beginning of the year in the dead of winter, and this is the time to book your site for that campground. So if there's someplace you want to go visit, someplace you want to explore, that's the time. Now is the time to book it, and it has that great hike all the way around the lake. You may want to work with someone where maybe you set up a car in Fontana, hike half of it one day, hike the other half another day, split it up. It makes it a little more manageable and get a good night's sleep. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and get on out there.